How to heal the wound of abandonment. There are pains that the body forgets, but there are others that are engraved in the soul. The wound of abandonment is one such. It does not bleed on the outside, but consumes on the inside. And the most difficult is that, often, it begins before we even know what love is. 1. When abandonment is born. The wound of abandonment can arise in childhood, when a father or mother were not present, can be born in adolescence, when someone we loved made us feel invisible, or it can arise in adult life, when a relationship ends and we get the feeling that we were not good enough to stay. This wound is treacherous because it does not speak, it acts. It manifests itself in the fear of loneliness, in the need to please, in difficulty to trust, in the despair of holding those who already want to go. And the most painful is that often who has this wound tries to hide behind strength, independence, and smiles. But inside is always waiting for someone to prove otherwise. That love can, yes, stay. 2. The repeat cycle. Who carries the wound of abandonment often repeat patterns without realizing. Get involved with emotionally unavailable people, accept crumbs of attention, confuse affection with salvation, and gives too much, afraid to be left again. The mind creates a cycle of hope and pain. This time will be different. But when the other moves away, everything comes back. Pain, emptiness, despair. And the heart, tired of being abandoned, begins to believe that the problem is him. But the truth is that the problem was never you. It was the unhealed love that you were taught to accept. 3. Understand to start healing. Heal the wound of abandonment is not to forget who left you. It is to understand why the absence of the other hurts you so much. Is to look inside and see that the pain is not only for the recent departure, is by the echo of all the games that came before. Each absence revives the old ones. Each goodbye rekindles the fear of not being enough. Healing begins when you stop looking in the other for the presence that has been missing in you. When you understand that no one will fill the void that is yours. Because what is lacking is not love from outside, is welcome from within. 4. Loneliness as a teacher. Loneliness is often the bitter remedy that the soul needs. It forces you to look at yourself, to listen to yourself, to recognize yourself. In silence, you realize how much life spent trying to be accepted, trying to be loved, seen, chosen. But true love begins when you choose yourself. When you understand that being alone is not the same as being abandoned. Being alone is learning to be whole. It is to rescue the pieces you left in each relationship that hurt you. And that's where you begin to rebuild yourself. No longer as a victim of abandonment, but as the author of your own healing. 5. Forgiveness as liberation. Forgiving those who abandon you is not to say that what they did was right. It is simply to free yourself from the burden of carrying it forever. To forgive is to understand that many people are also hurt trying to love. Often, the one who abandons was also abandoned. Who moves away often only repeats the pain they received. Forgiveness is the end point you write to close a chapter, not because the other deserves, but because you deserve to stay light. 6. The love that heals. After you allow yourself to feel, understand, and forgive, love comes back, but in a different way. He comes back calmly, without haste, without dependence. You begin to become the shelter that has always sought in others. You learn to welcome when you feel fear, to embrace when it hurts, to respect yourself when someone ignores you. And when this self-love blossoms, something magical happens. Abandonment loses power. 'cause now you know no one can leave you alone if you are whole within yourself. 7. The new version of herself. Healing the wound of abandonment is a slow process. It is not linear, it is not easy, and sometimes it seems that it will never end. But one day you wake up different. That message not received no longer hurts so much. That absence no longer defines you. And what was empty before is now space, space to start over. You realize that you no longer need to prove yourself to be loved. Because true love does not abandon you. It remains even when the other leaves. He lives within you. And when this consciousness awakens, you understand that the pain that once destroyed you is the same that rebuilds you today. 8. The definitive cure. The wound of abandonment heals when you become the presence that was missing, when you learn to stay even when everyone leaves. When you understand that self-love is not selfishness, it is survival. You don't have to chase anymore. No longer need to beg or shrink to fit. Now, you know that anyone who wants to stay will. And whoever leaves will only make room for something better. The cure is when you look back, thank, and follow. No pain, no anger, no guilt. Just sure that everything brought you here to the love that finally belongs to you. One day, she understood that no one can heal the emptiness of those who have not yet welcomed. And that day, she decided never abandon herself again. Do you have a story to tell? Send to us. Here, each story is a seed of courage that inspires other women to flourish. Rebuild yourself, because telling your story is also an act of healing.